Hey guys and gals, welcome back to another Vinny Vid Productions presentation. I am Vinny, your host, also known as BNSF6951 and also known as Cousin Vinny. If you guys like watching rail fanning videos or run-off sessions on my layout that's sitting behind me, scratch builds, or live streams, then please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And after you hit the subscribe button, don't forget to hit the bell. This way you'll get notified every time I upload a video or a live stream. And I wouldn't mind you giving me a couple of those also. Anyhow, with all that being said, let's get on with the video. This Vinny Vid production video brought to you by Yankee Dabbler. Don't forget, 5% discount, code BNSS6951. Alright guys and gals, welcome back to part 3 of Northern Power and Lights build for Marty of M&M Short Lines. This is going to be putting a lot of little stuff together before we can actually put the whole thing together. Anyhow, I am going to go ahead and show you all the progress I've made so far in this video, and we'll call it good at that. So anyhow, stay tuned and we'll be back shortly. Alright guys, we're going to start this off with, since we're going to have inside crane and an outside crane, I need to put together all the sub-assemblies for the outside crane. And this is what they are. They're steel girders with some cross ribbing and so on and so forth, but a special place up here to hold the girder that will support the crane. It comes in two parts, as you can see right here. There's a base and the main part. So what I'm doing in order to paint these guys is I'm putting them pretty much in their proper places, and I'm putting them on this tape right here. And then I would have this to paint them all at the same time. And then once they're dry, I'll take them off the bases and leave the bases on the tape and go ahead and paint the bases to whatever color I desire. Anyhow, that's the first part. The second part of all these little parts that need to go together is this. And this is going to be a duplicate of when I get the other crane kit. I'm going to be doing the same exact thing. But anyhow, this is the, I'm going to call it the head house. And here are the walls for it, and I didn't take the roof off the sprue yet. And then they expect you to get this thread through those little holes. I don't know if you can see the holes, but I actually made them a little bit bigger by I used a 3/32 drill bit, I believe. Let me double check that. No, 1/32 drill bit, just to make them a little bit bigger so I can get the thread there. Now, they say in the instructions, hold on, let me get the instructions, that you can see this. They're saying that I have this hook right here, and they're saying that I have this hook right here. Now, I see this hook, but I do not see this hook. So, I don't know if that's another mistake on their part, but anyhow, I don't see it. Now they also give you this, what appears to be a magnet, and they give you the eyelets for it to put in there, and they also give you the eyelet to tie all three of these together and hang it on the hook. These eyelets are so small, I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. So I'm going to try it, but odds are it's probably not going to work out the way I want it to. So anyhow, I'm going to keep looking for this guy right here, because I'd like to have both of these hooks hanging down, because that'll look pretty cool. Anyhow, let's get on with the rest of this. And so as you can see, I have all my parts here. This is the control house that'll be hanging from under the crane, and this guy here will be sitting up on the tracks. I don't know if you're going to see that, but they do have spaces to sit on the tracks so it can slide back and forth. Now I don't know how well it's going to slide. Plastic on plastic, I don't know. Anyhow, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and bring this out to my garage and give it a squirt. I don't know what color. I'm probably going to do it in the primer gray and leave it that color. like the rest of the parts that I've done, the rest of the steel parts that I've done. So anyhow, with that being said, I am going to go head out to my garage and give these a squirt, and we'll come back and start putting some of this stuff together. Alright guys, I didn't show you the color I'm doing the interior with yet, so this is it. It's called Winter Gray, and I think it looks pretty good, and the yellow crane is going to look really good up against that, and then all of these dark I-beam supports are going to look good in here, like that. So yeah, you'll be able to see all this different detail. Anyhow, that's for that part. And now these guys here will be on the, oh, I'm pointing to stuff that's not there. This is the control house that'll be hanging from the bottom of the crane. But anyhow, the ladder and the handrails will get painted yellow. And I think I'm going to paint these guys the same color as I painted the outside, the inside interior of this building. I don't want too many colors in here, but just enough to distinguish all the different parts that are going to be involved. Anyhow, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and start putting this stuff together. So with all that being said, stay tuned. Let me get set up for this, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, we're going to start by doing the control house first. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but they do have a door right there, and I'm going to have to paint that a different color so it is distinguishable. But yeah, so we're going to go ahead and put this together now and see how this all comes together. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to start with the door, and we're going to go ahead and lay a bead of glue down here. And I don't know if you can see this, but the floor also has what looks like a diamond plate on there. And you guys can see that if I can get the reflection just right. Yeah, there you go. Anyhow, that's going to be painted yellow, and the rest of the shack, or whatever you want to call it, is going to be the gray that I showed you for the interior. So anyhow, we're going to go ahead and start putting this together, and we're going to go ahead and hit this with some glue, maybe. There you go. Very nice. And then we're just going to put this up and line it up with the edges. And we'll give it a second to set up before I put the next piece in. Eyeball it, make sure it's straight, up and down. And of course, when you put one of these together, until you get all four sides, it's going to be pretty flimsy. But once you get all four sides put together, you'll be okay. So, in the back wall, according to the diagram, is blank. But also you need to notice that they do have beveled edges here to make the corners come out really clean and crisp. So we're going to go ahead and put some glue on this guy, like that. And we're also going to put glue down on the bottom. And now we're just going to go ahead and put this guy in here. And there you go. Let me make sure, I got to pick this up. Make sure that corner looks good. And make sure that guy's all the way in where he needs to be. And that's looking good so far. And then they're saying the big window, that's this guy, again also has the beveled edges, will go on outside here. And then the one with the small window, I wonder why it's on, oh, maybe because, alright, I see what's going on. Again, also has the bevel edges, so everything fits together and has a nice clean corner. Let's back this out a bit. There you go. So we're going to go ahead and continue on in this direction. And we're going to go ahead and put some glue on here. And some glue down on the bottom here. And we'll just put this together. In there. In there. And let's make sure we got a good clean fit on the corner. And that's looking really good. Oops, too far. There you go. I'm going to hold this down for a second. Seems to have a tendency to want to lift up. It's kind of weird that it's doing that. Alright. Alright, well, we're going to let those three sides set up for right now. And we'll give it a minute or two, and then I'll put the final wall in there. And in the meanwhile, while that's drying up, I'm going to go out to my garage and paint these couple of pieces right here. The yellow, like I said. And you know what's funny is they give you on this platform right here, they give you the 3 holes to mount the main thing, but they don't give you holes to mount the other one. I don't know. It's just cutting corners in the wrong places as far as I'm concerned. But anyhow, I'm going to go head out to my garage and go ahead and paint this. I'm going to leave it on the. I'll leave this on the sprue, and you notice that I took it away from the top of the sprue because that will be seen, but I left it on the bottom because that's not going to be seen. But anyhow, we need to trim this up a bit before we go ahead and paint it. So I'll go ahead and do that and be back in a little bit. Alright guys, here's structure number 1 is completed. I'm not going to put the roof on it until I put the acetate in there, and I can't put the acetate in there until I paint the outside. Also, I did mess up when I took this off the sprue. I did mess up this little piece here, so I just added a little piece in there to make them even. And this is the part that gets glued up to the crane just like that. And then we'll be good to go. So this is going to get the same color paint as the interior walls. Now, with this guy here, I'm going to assemble him without using the floor, only because I can't find the other hook, and I don't want to put the floor in here until I find the hook, so it'd be easier for me to run the thread through there. Anyhow, we're just going to go ahead and kind of haphazardly put this thing together, make sure that all your bosses are down on the bottom like they're supposed to be, and we'll try and get it as square as we can. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and do this. And once I get all 4 walls on there, it'll be pretty pliable, and I'll be able to kind of like put it on the floor just to make sure it's square. And did I put that in there right? I did. Okay. And that's what I'm saying is these bosses in here, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see the bosses in there. All of this down here, this rests on the floor, so that's why I can't put it in there right now. But anyhow, we'll go ahead and put this in here. A little bit of glue. And go ahead and put him in there. Like that. Let's see what I got. I got this guy. Okay. See, this would be a lot harder to do without the floor, but I need to do it this way only until I can't find that other hook. Because that's bugging me now. Is that another thing that doesn't come in this kit? Alright, I'm going to let those 3 walls set up for a minute before I add the 4th wall. Anyhow, like I said, this will get the same color as the interior, and so will this one get the same color gray. It's kind of like a nice bluish gray. I like it, really. I mean, come on, look at that. Doesn't that look pretty? Let me back this out a bit. There you go. I think that's pretty cool. And the outside, I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to do with the outside yet, but what we're going to do now, while this guy dries up, we're going to start taking off some of the masking tape that I have on here. So, yeah, okay. There you go. Just knocked my ladder over. Oh, by the way, I did go ahead and paint these guys. Painted it yellow. And the same for the handrails. Painted them yellow, so they're good to go. And we're getting really close to having this structure actually finished. It's not really a hard structure if you just kind of think about what you got to do and just do it in the sequence that you think is right. And like, I look at the instructions, and only if I run into a problem, like I don't know how something's got to go, is the only time I'll actually look at the instructions. So there's one side that's all unmasked. And we'll go ahead and do the rest of them also. Sounds like a zipper. Alright, that's enough, guys. You know, you take a lot of time to do all this masking, but it actually makes your model a better looking model, because you're not going to have problems where glue is not going to adhere, and later on, as time goes on, the glue will get weak because of the paint, and then parts will start falling off. So I'd rather take the extra time to do this stuff now and avoid any problems down the road. Especially when I'm doing something for somebody, I want to make sure that they get what they're paying for. So this one has to come off, and that's number 2. Alright, and now all we got is this guy and this guy. I'm probably not going to put any kind of a flat coat on this paint, only because in a lot of shops that I've worked in, the walls are always a glossy color. I guess it would be easier for them to clean it instead of painting it every year. You know, just have somebody come in and clean it up for them. So that's why I'm going to leave it glossy. And also, on that one piece that I already put together in the first part of this video, I'm going to have to mask a lot of stuff off on that, because I painted it the wrong color. I painted it a color I was going to paint the entire inside with, but I decided to change. I changed my mind as far as the color goes. It was a beige like I showed you guys earlier, but now it's got this gray, and I like the gray a lot better than the beige. So, hey, be nice. I don't know how close we are to having this this part of the video completed. We got something on the side. Now, another major part of this build is going to be all the window outlets. They're going to have to be sanded down, because there's 2 parts that have to get glued to that. Actually, it's the window frames that go in here, and then the acetate that goes on top, or the clear plastic. It's not acetate, it's clear plastic. Anyhow, all that's done, and now the last stop we got for this particular build is this guy right here, and we'll go ahead and put some glue. Oh, here's a little trick I want to show you guys too. If your nozzle on this particular glue, any particular glue really, two things you can do. You can either use your pin and poke it in there, or you can take a cigarette lighter. If you take a cigarette lighter and just go under here like this, you see that little puff puff that happened right there? It was really quick. This tube is now clean. But you need to be careful with that and make sure you point it away from your face so you don't get hit in the face with the glue, because it does squirt out. And I think that's good. What we're going to do now is we're just going to put it on the floor just to make sure it stays square. Now, I don't know, I think there was a specific way that this needs to go in here. I think it needs to go this way. I think. Nope, it has to go this way. Come on, be nice. Alright, it wants to give me a hard time. That's okay, because I will adapt and overcome. Get off of me. Alright, I think I'm just going to let this dry up a little bit further before I try and square this thing up. Because it's not working exactly the way I want it to. Put some more glue on here. And we'll just go ahead and put this guy in place for now. Alright, I'm going to let that sit for a while. Anyhow, we'll take a break here and we'll get the stuff painted up, and that most likely will be the end of this video. No, I might do just a couple more things on here before we call it good. Anyhow, with all that being said, we'll be back shortly. Alright guys, this we're going to do this as the last part of this video. We're going to go ahead and install these stanchions. I've been calling them girders the whole video so far, but they are actually H-columns that are stanchions, and they will go two in the front, then the firewall, and then one in the back. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and start this up. We're going to go ahead and put a bead of glue down here. That's why there's no, it's bare plastic. And you can see all the way down to the bottom, and there are bosses, alignment bosses that you can use to get everything straight. So there we go. Put that one in there. And make sure that he stays straight. There we go. And then we'll put the second one. Now remember, when you do the opposite side, make sure you have it oriented correctly. So I'm going to do this kind of like upside down so you guys can see how it lines up. When you stand it up, it'll be all nice and pretty lined up for you. So we'll go ahead and do this one, the second one here. Alright, that's the first side. Now this is what I'm talking about. I would just push this up here like this. This one is upside down, so when you stand it up, it'll be oriented correctly. So, with that being said, we're just going to go ahead and push this further under. And we'll get the last three guys here. And we just come in to do it. Now remember, these are going to be upside down, so when you put it together, make sure you orient it correctly. So in other words, what I'm saying is these guys right here need to go towards the top. Okay. I hope you guys and gals enjoyed this video, and as always, your questions, comments, inputs, subs, shares, and likes are always welcome. For now, that's all folks. BNSF 6951 and Cousin Vinny out.